it's the guiding principle then to be of service, because it means who I am as an individualized expression of divine love does something to the world around me. That is my service. That's how I serve. Sometimes we say, well, I don't know how to serve, as a way to just avoid it and to just not do it. But who we are, how we show up, that's our service. And so in our teaching, we say we think from the whole to the part. That's a different way of thinking, right? That's quantum thinking. That's spiritual mind thinking. That's science of mind thinking, is to start from the place of wholeness and truth and then live from that place, instead of from part trying to figure out how to put the parts together so I can experience a greater sense of wholeness. And so we're always weaving these insights and ahas and wow, that was great, oh, I love this video, those things that we learn, to how do we put them into practice in our day-to-day living. That becomes our service. So we have a little saying, well, Ernest Holmes created this little saying that for me is a mantra that I say over and over and over again, and I may change the words a little bit, but I really love that, and I want to close with that, and we can do it together. But it's where he says, and we'll do it together in a few minutes, because I want to explain it a little bit. It says, there's only one life. There's only one life. There's not this life, that life, that life, this life, this life. There's only one life, which means that everything is connected and nothing is separate. So isn't it interesting where we live in a world now where people focus so much on separation that they suffer? That's why the world is the way it is today. Because most people say there are many, 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 many different pieces of life and they're all separate. No, there's only one life. It's all connected. And then he says, and this life is God's life. If you don't like the word God, change it today, because if you keep using that word and you go, well, it's not going to work for you. You're going to have a different experience, right? And so there's only one life. That life is the life of spirit, the life of infinite intelligence, the life of love, the life of grace, the life of peace. Use whatever word you like, but a word that makes you go, right? So there's only one life. That life is Spirit's life. This life is perfect. I've had so many people argue with me about the word perfect. And I say, give it up. Give up the argument. Because perfect doesn't mean the opposite of imperfect. Perfect means as it is. As is. So this life is perfect as it is. Then I can go, yeah, but what about this? Or what about this? Or what about this? Or what about this? Or what about that? Or what about that? The things that we say, well, it's not quite perfect. Because we have a skewed idea of what perfect is. No, it's perfect as is. And you and I are perfect exactly the way we are. Imagine if we fully embrace that. I know I'd have a little more peace in my life. It's not like I purposely go, well, this isn't perfect. But it's the belief system that shows up that way, right? And then the last part is, and this is my life now. So let's do it together. And think about the word you want to use for God if you don't like that word. Just change it. Just say it. Okay? There's only one life.
There's only one life.
What? How many?
There's only one life.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No, just two.
No.
Just two.
No. One life.
Three?
No. One.
Reverend Frankie said one.
25? Again, there's only one life. This life is God's life.
This life is God's life.
Change the word if you don't like it. This life is Spirit's life.
This life is Spirit's life.
This life is love's life.
This life is love's life.
Yeah, now say your own. This life is.
This life is.
So when you go, well, this life sucks, or this life is a pain in the patootie, or this life isn't working, what are you doing? You're speaking your life into being in that moment. You don't have to use a baseball bat when you realize that. You're just going to go, oh, honey, let's change that. Let's think about that. This life is perfect.
This life
This
is
life is
perfect.
perfect.
This life is perfect exactly the way it is.
This life is perfect exactly the way it is.
I can finally freaking relax.
Right?
Right?
Freaking out.
Right? Just think about that. If you're walking around going, it's perfect as it is. So much will fall away from you because you don't need it anymore. It's like Velcro will stop working. Will slide right off. And this life is my life now.
And this life is my life now.
This life is my life now.
This life is my life now.
Yes, and let's close that with a healing treatment, which is our word for affirmative prayer. So close your eyes if you wish. And if you're comfortable, just place your hand on your heart. Just to make that connection, knowing that your hand and your heart is one, meaning that what your hands do are connected to your heart and are part of the oneness of all life. So right here, right now, I simply open my mind, my heart, my body, my soul to the truth. And when I say I, my, me, I speak from the one life. I speak from the higher self within all of us and to the higher self in all of us. I realize once again how blessed I am, how much I have, how many miracles I've already experienced, how the sweetness of life makes itself known. And I forgive myself today for my forgetfulness. And I realize that's what life seems to be about. Forget, remember, forget, remember, forget, remember. And so I surrender to it. And I celebrate every moment of forgetfulness because I know it always leads to remembrance, more to celebrate. And so I allow the blessings of that reveal a new way of living for me. And whether it's brand spanking new or just a teeny, teeny, tiny, bitsy new or anything in between, I am open and willing. I am standing in the truth of my very being, and I shine a light so bright that it touches all of life around me and ripples out and comes back to me multiplied abundantly. I trust myself. I trust my life. I trust that higher purpose and presence within me to guide me, to provide for me, and to show me what's possible. With awe and gratitude then, I surrender this word, and I trust and know that there is a universal law that demonstrates it for me in the highest and best ways. And so it is.
Yay!